Good morning. My name is Cledell Clark, President and CEO of the Better Business Bureau, served in Southeastern Virginia and Northeastern North Carolina. And welcome to this edition of the Coach's Corner. I'm here today with Mr. Vernon Clifton, owner of Freelance Security in Chesapeake.
Yes, sir. Good morning to
How you doing today?
I'm good, sir. How about
And
yourself?
as you may know, and as our viewers know, the Coach's Corner brings parallels between sports and business.
Yes.
Once upon a time, I was a coach. And in our workplace, I'm always talking about how coaching and competition and sports equates to business.
Yes.
We decided to start this great podcast and have our accredited businesses to be members, or excuse me, to be guests with us on this show. So let's get started.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about Freelance Security and how you got started and how origins came from.
Well, 1989, graduated from Deep Creek High School, played football, basketball, and track. I knew that I was going to college, but I knew my grandmother did not have the money to pay for me to go to college. So I worked for the summer in security. I lit and I do love it. So I decided to just my path in security, and it has worked out. It has miracles for me, and I'm doing it now, and I'm successful with it, and I'm very happy.
Okay. When we talk about sports, talk about business, tell us about your team. How large is your team, and how have you gone about recruiting and putting that team together?
I have 15 teammates. It's been hard, this team together, advertising, just going out and recruiting people that have been in the business before. And I have a solid team of 15, and they are hard workers, and I love them, and I treat them like family. They treat me the same way, and there's nothing for these guys that I would do because call at any time and they answer the call. And when it relates to sports, you got to have players on your team that will answer the call and not be selfish. And I do believe that all 15 of my employees, they are not selfish, and they answer the bell on a regular for me.
Right. Talk about that roster, that as we talk about in sports,
Yes,
right? You
yes.
recruited, you have this roster, but you got to lead that team. So
Yes.
tell me about your leadership philosophy and how you go about moving that 15 man and woman roster forward.
It's very tough. Every night I'm up, looking at the schedule, looking at everyone's availability, just to know what they can do. And out of the 15 employees that I have that are dedicated, I know their strengths and their weaknesses, and I'm always studying. And you just have to spend time with them to get to know them. And I feel like as a business owner, I'm right out there with them on a regular. So they share important information with me, and you have to have, I just feel like you have to be a good owner, a good leader, and I feel like I'm a natural leader. So these guys don't have a problem coming to me. I have an open door policy. They never have a problem coming to me, telling me what their needs are and put their weaknesses on the table. So strategically, I know where to put them at, and they're happy. There's no complaints, and I love it.
Right. Well, mark of a great leader, knowing roles and
Yes.
assigning those roles.
Yes.
You talked about building that team. Great examples of your leadership philosophy and leadership skills. But how do you develop them? How do you move them forward? How do you advance the team, especially as it relates to something as specific as security and the tedious work that you do? How do you make them better? How do you get them to the next level?
Well, with me, I feel like I'm a natural leader. So over the years, just found out through reading and just being reading and treating people correctly, I have just developed a natural skill to come forward. Of course, with me being the owner, all eyes are on me.
Right.
So I have to dot my I's and cross my T's. They're always looking. I think myself, I motivate them, and they want to be better. So that back around to me being a good leader, definitely how I motivate them, and they see the hard work and the energy that I put into the situation in all situations, and they just go out and lead, and they become natural leaders, and they teach other people how to lead.
Right. With throughout that leadership and throughout the operation of the company, there's times you have to make large decisions, major decisions, strategic decisions, financial decisions. How do you go about drawing the inspiration and drawing the just ability to make that decisions for that many people and for an organization as prominent as yours?
That's a good question. I don't get that question all the time. definitely is through me staying up all night, looking at the numbers, looking at the contracts that we have. We do have some situations that happen on the fly. You know, we have to get up in the middle of the night, knowing that I have to be to work the next day, and I have to replace people that get sick. It's just me learning this business, being in the business 30 years, and being able to make decisions on the fly. Some decisions are easier than others, and some decisions are challenging. But always figure out a way how to get through it, and the next day speaks for the next day, and
Right.
I'm going to continue to be excited about being a business in Virginia.
Certainly, certainly. So you've coached this team. You're running this great organization. You're overcoming challenges, but no leader can know all things all the time, right? So how do you kind of get advice? How do you get mentorship? How do you professionally develop? How do you keep honing your skills so you can better lead the organization?
That's a good question. You are asking some awesome questions. Some questions that are not even in our industry, thrown at us on a regular basis. For me, I go to a lot of
Good,
conferences,
good.
because I'm always brushing up. I'm always reading. I'm always learning.
Mhm.
I'm definitely connected with other security companies, and I can just pick up the phone if I have a question, and ask these particular mentors for their opinion in the situation. Because at the end of the day, I have to make my own decisions. But it's nothing wrong with someone who's been in the business over 30 years picking up the phone and calling someone else and asking them, for a question. And I'm sure other coaches talk to other coaches
Oh yeah.
like, hey, what's going on? Do you have a scouting report on this
Hmm.
team, or is this pitcher does he favor? Does he give any signals
Right.
when he throws his fastball? So yeah, man. Actually, if you look at what we do, what we do on our end, it's pretty much related to sports. Because some of the same some of the same gestures are made, and that's pretty much how I handle situations like that.
Okay. Okay. Well, just kind of shifting gears, we talk about performance, of course, in sports.
Yes,
Great team, that's fine. Good
yes,
coaching knowledge, that's fine. Great
yes,
facilities, that's fine.
yes,
But you got to win, right?
yes.
So, how do you measure performance with your organization? Is that just more contracts? Is that just trying to make a certain dollar amount at the end of the year? Is that recruiting more great persons that you have on your team? How do
Yes,
you measure your success at the end of a day, at the end of a quarter, at the end of the year? What says uh, freelance security has been successful this year?
that's another good question. For me, um, people want to run away from money, but I'm going to say, or people don't want to talk about money.
Let's
Um,
talk about
oh,
it.
I'm going to put it out there on the table. For me, it's the money, it's the contracts, it's the new personnel coming through the door, everybody being happy, my growth as a business owner. Um, that helps me to gauge where I need to go in 2025. I've already have a plan in 2024, and we are just when it comes to that plan, we have to add more plans because we have decided to open another business in another state.
Okay.
So it can be very challenging, but I'm staying on my pace, and I'm continuing to pray and let God answer some of the things for me. But at this moment, that's how I measure our success.
Okay. And you talked about, you don't have to get totally into detail because these are future plans, but you talked about growth for your business, growth for
Yes,
your team.
yes,
Okay. Okay. Is that in the security space, or is that still in the security space where you're growing?
yes,
Okay. Good.
yes,
Good. 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 Well, tell me about your cultural values. And we talked about this kind of pre-camera or pre-interview,
yes,
and you just talked about how your values, you imparted those and empowered those and poured into the team about how you valued life and how you valued leadership and how you valued human beings. Tell me about your values that you pour into your team, and how that's made them great and how that's gotten them to this point today.
I just think from the success I've had over the years, like we talked earlier, all eyes are on me. Um, and just really just from me being a passionate leader in this business, my guys have developed the same concept. So I don't have to spend a lot of time motivating them and
Mhm.
telling them what to do because they have watched my growth. And on their end, I can see their growth from watching me and their growth. I've learned some things from
Right,
them,
right.
and I just love it, man. I love it when I just love it when people look at me as being a leader, and then I can turn and look at my team and see that the leadership that I've had over the years, they follow or do some of the same things I do. And I tell these guys, stay motivated.
Mhm.
I tell them, a lot of my guys tell me, I want to be like you. And I tell them, be better than me
Right,
because I
right.
want them to be better than me on all levels. And once again, and I think that comes back to coaching because coaches want um, their players to look at them and see something in them. And at the end of the day, if they see something out of their coach,
Mhm.
you would be surprised what people do to do well in their industry. And I just think my guys want to do well in this industry, and they want to show other companies who are out there. They want to show them
Okay.
that freelance is here to stay.
Right, right, right. Well, that's just an amazing story. Um, we talk in terms of growing the company, the recruitment of your team,
Yes,
how you measure success. But we also talked earlier about the competitiveness of your industry
yes.
and the different other vendors that are there and the things that they're doing to grow and grab market share. So how do you deal with the competition? How do you assess the competition? And then how do you set strategies to combat that competition to continue to grow your company and continue to support your 15 man and woman team?
Well, I'm always studying. I'm always reading. I'm always um, connecting with other companies. Is Even though we're in competition, we share good information
Mm-hmm.
all the time, and the information that they take me, that they tell me, I run with it. The information that I share with them, they run with it. That seems to be working for companies in Virginia now. There's a lot of manpower issues, so we're always helping each other. But for the most part, um, like I said, my guys are motivated. They stay motivated and they get the job done. I'm really not worried about any competition. They should be worried.
Okay.
Other companies really should be worried because um, it takes a lot to do this.
All right.
It takes a lot of research. It takes a lot of planning. And some nights I don't go to bed at all because I'm doing the research. I'm planning. I'm getting things ready for the next day as well as for the month. Our phone is always ringing
Okay.
from different clients who want security or want a professional service, and we are that professional service.
All right. So this team has driven you all forward. You've poured into this team. You've recruited this team. Tell us a little bit about the cross section or makeup of your team. Diverse team, young, old. What walks of life are these persons coming from, and how's your team made up?
Wow, I'm glad that you asked that. I have middle-aged people.
Mhm.
I have young people. I have um, older senior citizens, all nationalities.
Okay.
Uh, it's a it's a good squad. Like I said, they make it easy on me. Easy. They motivate me. I motivate them. But that's the make of our squad, and we also have women.
Okay.
I think we have more women than any of the other companies out there, and
Okay.
these women are very good women. Um, the makeup of the 15 officers are anywhere from military, uh, para law enforcement, anything, anything that anything that law enforcement or doing security, high volume security over the years.
Okay.
These ladies are very experienced, and I have I wouldn't trade. I would not trade these 15 officers for anybody. And I guess it's the same way Mike Tomlin feels in Pittsburgh that I don't want to get rid of. I don't want to get rid of any of these players that are good. And
Right.
like I said, it comes back to me. I love this. I love what I'm doing, and I'm going to keep pushing.
Okay. Okay. So you talked about football. You just kind of snuck that in there. You,
Oh,
you,
of
you
course,
snuck in
of course,
Steelers. So
of course.
are the Steelers your team?
Yeah, of course, of course. You don't mind if I just do a little of this, right? Do a little of this. Still a nation every day. And you see, I'm missing an E. That tells you I had this for a long time. But yeah, I'm definitely a diehard Steelers fan.
Well, good, good. That's just amazing to hear your story.
Thank you.
Amazing to hear about your team, hear
Thank you.
about their background, because as relates to diversity, we know that a team really wants to be a kind of cross section, a representation of these communities and these
Yes.
customers and these areas that you serve. So that is very important that you have a diverse team serving these diverse customers, serving
Yes.
these diverse neighborhoods and these diverse establishments.
Yes.
One of the biggest things when you talk about security, and it certainly parallels coaching, and it certainly parallels us here at BBB, is trust. Why trust freelance security? Why trust Vernon Clifton? Why trust that 15-man team? How do we know we can trust you to do what it is that you say you can do?
Well, you can trust us. You can trust us because I'm a good leader, and I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize myself or the business. When it comes to our officers, we do background checks. We do background checks. We go back and visit former employees. Um, coming into the business, they have to go through the FBI to get a clearance to even um, walk through this door or anyone's door in the security industry. And we're regulated by the Department of Criminal Justice, and they definitely make sure that anybody that we bring on board or any company bring on board that they are official. But we do the pre-screening, and we want to make sure even before it gets, we turn their information over to the FBI or the Department of Criminal Justice,
Okay.
that we do our due diligence to make sure that they are even sound individuals to put out there in front of clients, because the last thing you would want to do is put someone out there with a client who isn't trustworthy, isn't dependable.
Certainly.
And I mean, I think that's what we concentrate on a regular. That is what I did with my 15 officers, like background checks, went out and visited employees. I pulled all kind of information on them just to make sure that everything that they said, everything that they put on the application lined up with what we needed from them, and all 15 check out. I don't know what number 16 is going to bring me, but you know, um, but I like I said, I have a great team, and uh, they just didn't walk through the door. They walked through the door, and when you walk through the door, the investigation portion starts. So we're not like these other companies that you walk through the door on a Monday and you're hired on a Monday. You will walk through our door on a Monday, and you might not be told until Friday that you even have a job with us.
Okay.
And with all 15 candidates that are a part of the team now, that's what we did with them. And we will continue to um, do our investigations and our due diligence to make sure that we put credible people out there in the field.
Wow, that's certainly checks and balances, the due diligence that you talked about, because when those persons go out with your business name on their shirt or their
Yes.
uniform, that's a representation of you,
Yes.
and that's a representation of that 30 years of hard work.
Yes.
Now, you've also done something else to raise that credibility and ensure that credibility, which is join the BBB.
Yes.
So tell us about that BBB accreditation and how that's benefited your business and how that's been a key part of your business and your growth and your positioning and your establishment of trust with your customers.
Well, coming on board with the Better Business Bureau, I knew nothing about it. Someone actually shared some information with me. And I was invited to come down and sit through our presentation, which was a
Hmm.
breakfast, and I enjoyed coming to the breakfast every month and sitting down with new owners or people who are joining the Better Business Bureau. I have to say that it's been a fun ride with you guys, and I can hope I continue to enjoy this ride. Just the knowledge and just the hard work you guys put in to this is amazing. I've done my homework with other agencies who say that I'm better than the Better Business Bureau, or you can come register with us and we'll do all the checks and balances for you guys. But you guys really here do all the balances and the checks, and you just don't let anybody in the door. Um, and the ratings that you guys give us or that we work for are good ratings. And when people see that you're registered with the Better Business Bureau, that gives them a level of confidence, comfortability. And I would advise anybody who's a business owner um, to sign up for the Better Business Bureau, because you you come you come a part of this protection. It's like an umbrella over you, and you're protected. You're protected, and people believe in the Better Business Bureau. And I think um, clients who are looking for companies need to make sure that these companies are registered with the Better Business Bureau, because these days you don't know what you're getting at. My success with the Better Business Bureau, I've been out in different areas, and just having the Better Business placard on my car, sticker, people like, "Hey, you with the Better Business Bureau?" And I'm like, "Yes." You do security, even though it's showing on my car,
Right,
freelance
right.
security. You do security, yes. And I've picked up a couple of contracts by just having that on my vehicle, and I love it. I hope people keep seeing the Better Business Bureau on my car and recognize it and recognize what it stands for, and continue to do their due diligence when they go to hire security, a plumber, because you never know what you're getting at. And having the backing of the Better Business Bureau, like, it's amazing. It speaks volumes.
Okay. Well, great story, Vernon.
Thank you,
Great
thank you,
insight,
thank
great
you.
advice, great coaching strategy.
Yes,
Just a great representation of who you are,
thank
how
you,
you lead your team. We learned about how your team is made up of, and the businesses that you do, businesses that you serve. Your leadership vision and where you're going.
yes,
And we just really have high hopes for your organization, and just wish
thank
you all
you,
well. We
thank you
do
so
appreciate
much.
your time for this.
No
And that
problem.
concludes this latest edition of the Coach's Corner with Vernon Clifton, freelance security out of Chesapeake. Thank you,
Woo
sir.
woo. Thank you.